welcome to another episode Now Playing with Stephen Freeman. On today's episode, I'll be talking about the new HBO Max film, The Witches. The film is based on the famous Roald Dahl's novel, which was also adapted to a movie in 1990. And in this version, basically tells the story of a young boy who loses his parents and ends up living with his grandmother. And one day, while staying at a hotel, they stumble upon a convention of witches where the ruler, the Grand High Witch, played by Anne Hathaway, transforms him into a mouse, and him and his grandmother, played by Octavia Spencer, work out a plan to stop the witches from carrying out their evil plan of turning kids into mouses. What I like about this film, I was going to say this really at the top. Anne Hathaway's performance was actually pretty good, actually. Like, she really was creepy. They did the witches make effects a little differently than they did in the original 1990 film, where instead of the Grand High Witch looking all weird and hideous, they just have her have like this big old mouth with like claw hands, and it was actually really effective, and she really did kind of creep me out and stuff. I know some people will probably may not find that interesting, but I don't know though. It really was creepy to me, really. The story, whether or not this is better overall story than the original is kind of hard to say. I'm just going to just judge it as it is, really. But I think the story overall is not too bad. It's pretty much the same thing. You know, the grandma's kind of an expert on witches, tells the story of what happened with a friend of hers and stuff. That was attacked by a witch, and yeah, and effects wise, maybe not 100% as good, but the story, for the most part, is not too bad, and I think the ending is probably more in line to the original book the story is based off of, and it's really not a bad way to kind of wrap things up, really. I think overall, Anne Hathaway's performance is really what steals the show, really. Story's not too bad, and but the effects could have been a little bit improved, really. But I kind of like how they kind of stick pretty close to the original ending of the original story. So this is on HBO Max, and if you use HBO Max, I would say give this a look, really. It's definitely a nice, fun Halloween story for the family, really, you know. It's directed by Robert Zemeckis, who I've been a big fan of, and it's not one of his best films, though, but it's a decent enough film, really. You know, it's definitely just something to watch for, like, Halloween, really. I give this overall B minus. So this is Now Playing with Stephen Freeman, and thank you for watching.